Hi there, how's it going? My name is Eli and I'm going to be going through the Kind's Snacks case today. So, basic outline of the case, it was a brief, very brief case actually, about a snack food company founded by Daniel Lebetsky in 2014. He came up with the idea of the Kind Snacks company after his first business failed, which was another food-orientated business with a similar methodology for Kind Snacks, but yet obviously it didn't do too well. During this first business, he found that when he went on long runs, he couldn't find anything healthy. The business Kind has been really successful compared to his initial one. It's like over $250 million in sales, over $750 million in sales in 2017. Daniel believed that there's a trend for society to appreciate the power of incorporating social purpose into their mission. So, yeah, both of his businesses had that very strong social purpose. Pictures of the advertisement in the case shows subjects defining that there's a big difference between being nice and being kind. And it pictures these volunteers helping people on the border between America, helping them, supplying them with water. I believe the main discussion points of this case was, it was interesting that he used this same business methodology to his first business and it failed, whereas he changed the product obviously and it's done really well. So I think it definitely raises that idea that certain methodology works in different frameworks and different contexts. And then the other obvious discussion point was there's a difference between nice and kind, which is basically what all of their campaigns revolve around. My question to you is, do you think that this strong social purpose putting into the mission of the business, is that a strong tactic or is it sustainable? What do you think? Now on to the industry definitions. So this is very basic, broad definition of just the food industry. I'm saying that further divides into people searching for food that is either they're searching it for taste or they're searching it for health, even though they're obviously not mutually exclusive, but I think that's quite a big division. And then on both sides of the tree you see the meals and the snacks. So obviously Kind would sit with the healthy snacks. This is the middle industry definition. So it's obviously a health food. This is going a level lower. And then two target markets, adult and children. So snacks can be very unhealthy, I guess, but Kind have their own sort of sister products to their main products called Kind Kids. So they have a bit more sugar in them. I guess you could say they're not as healthy, but they're just a different positioning. And then the adults, so Kind have two products targeted for adults. They have kind bites, like little oatmeal bites, opposed to just the standard muesli bar. This is the most narrowed definition. The healthy snack foods. So we have muesli bars and health shakes, like protein shakes or low calorie sort of meal replacement shakes. And then for the muesli bars, we have like high protein plant based muesli bars, or also low calorie bars as well. So Kind does cater to both of these parts of the market, I guess. Some of them, have higher protein because they have more nuts in them, or more fruit in other ones, so they're low calorie. Then I had a look at the IBIS report just to get a bit of an insight on the health snack food production and the supply chain, so I could get some ideas about the macroeconomic trends. So here we have the supply industries, like obviously the nuts and take up a large part of what Kind would have to buy, or any muesli bar company. Then there's got demand industries. You've got gym and fitness centers, so that's obviously a good place to sell your product. And then you have the demand in the key economic drivers: health consciousness, disposable income, price of wheat. So like the health consciousness, that's obviously like a social norm that is always changing. And the related industries, I guess that doesn't matter too much. So the macro trends I found, so gone through quite a few social cultural trends, and then I've also found a bit of economic related information, including the market size and the changes in the demand industries. So the socio-cultural trends, so there's a lot of information on here. So some of these are taken out of journalistic articles or statistics from the passport database. So we've got more grocery shoppers are seeking out and trying better for you foods, especially dairy and meat-free alternatives. So a lot of, pretty much all of Kind's bars are meat-free and dairy-free, so that's good. And they're also looking for superfoods. More and more customers in America are searching for superfoods. So we have like quinoa and chia seeds. There's also in some of Kind's offerings, and there's also obviously alternative snacks and stuff like that becoming more popular, like gluten-free, which also Kind does cater to parts of that market, including just even the nut butters, for example. They do have like peanut butter bars that are completely organic. US consumers think of the better for you category as long as they don't have added salts or sugars, which Kind also don't have. So protein drinks, jerky, health bars and energy bars fall into this segment too. So like when I showed you here, we've got that competition between the health shakes and the muesli bars. This is a really extreme case, but some Americans on a questionnaire said they ate 7 or more snacks a day. Only 2% of the market, but you can obviously get an idea that Americans do tend to be very big snackers, at least eating 3 to 4 was the mean a day. The United States population and the healthfulness of the products landed in 3rd place behind taste and price as the main factors that drive purchase behavior. So this is obviously a challenge that health food companies are always trying to overcome, and this briefing said that these health has been placed 3rd after price and taste for a very long time, so that hasn't changed too much. So that's always going to be a bit of a challenge for Kind, trying to convince those people on the budget or that believe that healthy food couldn't taste good. And finally, another positive driver is the rise in concerns from processed foods, people suggesting that there is like links to cancer and stuff, so people are yearning for the simpler times, so when there was less processed foods, and so that's obviously great for Kind because none of their foods are like mass production processed foods with artificial colours and things of that nature. So here I just got one statistic, the entire market size for naturally healthy packaged food in the USA is 22,000 million, so 2.2 billion market in 2018, so it's obviously a huge market and it is growing. So as I said before in my IBRIS report, you can see that the gyms and fitness centres are a good positive driver for demanding the product. You can see here in all of the main developing countries, and then even Japan and Malaysia, that the amount of gyms and sports clubs, perfect places to try and sell your product and position it, they're all increasing on a very strong growth trajectory. So after going over all these trends, so the positive socio-cultural trends in the USA, and then the market size and the demand industries, I believe that it would be a good idea to target these countries, specifically China and India, due to their large just market size in general, and then also the large amount of sports clubs and gyms that they have and their strong growth pattern. I also believe that these countries could benefit from the country of origin effect. It's a concept in international marketing when when a foreign product comes in, the country of the origin, so if it was made in Italy or the muesli bar was made in America, they could have like the American flag on there, and certain Chinese consumers may think that. Sorry about that, I had a bit of technical difficulties. So basically what I was saying was the country of origin effect. The Chinese consumers, for example, could think that the American muesli bar is more superior to the local products, maybe because there's less pollution there, or they believe that American fruit and nut is high quality. So yeah, that's my recommendation of entering these demand industries or these countries and then into these gyms and such. What country would you expand to and why? And if you want, you can answer my poll. Should be able to just type that in to your address bar and see what other people, where else they would have expanded. And finally, here is my references, and thank you very much for listening.